Crossovers around pivot points have greater significance, and if you don't see a clear sign, then it doesn't necessarily mean that you are wrong. It can also mean that particular script is not meant to be traded on that time or on that day itself. Like, if there is not a clear sign to enter or exit, you don't have to take the trade. Just avoid, okay? Wait for the correct signals. MACD indicator and momentum crossovers are added bonus at confirming a signal caught by you. Sometimes they can also hint you about an upcoming trade like we saw in Titan. On a 5 minutes chart, if the price closes above or below 12 period triangular moving average, then it will stay above or below that line for at least 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, so in case you have in case a trade goes against us, you will have sufficient time to see what is happening and exit. Most of the time you will be in and out in 20-30 minutes if you are using a 5 minutes chart. Like, if you are right, and if you catch a movement right, let's say bullish movement, then in 15 to 20 minutes maximum, I think it will reach a resistance area where the price might react. So, or you are happy with the profit which you earn in 20 minutes and you will exit the position. So most of the time it will be like a 20 minutes in and out. It can go longer period if the stock, if you catch a trending move, right? Okay, now let's see how to enter a trending stock. Okay, so this is an example of Havels opened on 15th February 2019 with a big red candle, right? But we need to be patient about entering a stock. Just seeing a big red candle doesn't mean that it might trend that day. So what I see here is I wait for this. As soon as this candle closes below a pivot support line, I'm waiting for it to confirm that it is going to stay below this support area, right? So that confirmation comes at 9:35 something, and at this particular time it is already below 12 period triangular moving average. MACD is showing bearish. MACD line is below the signal line, and momentum line, the black one, is below its average, so it is also bearish. This is where you can enter the sell position, and you can hold the sell position as long as the price is respecting the triangular moving average. Okay, so here there is a reason I have written B1. This is where you can exit your position. Why? Because the price came down, okay, let's say from around 689.50 to all the way down here 680. This is almost 9 rupees movement, and here there is a support line. This is S3, third support, and it reacts to it. Buyers come in, you will see this candle, right? So you can probably book you can probably book your profits here. I might book my profit here because I don't know what will happen. This is a support area, this is where buyers can be, and if they come in, all my profit might, like, my profit might go down by 2-3 rupees. So I take the chance. I will book my profit here. For someone who is willing to stay longer in the trade, they can wait and close their trade here when the price goes back out below, uh, you know it crosses the 12 period triangular moving average. It's not below, it's actually above. Since we are in the sell side, uh, crossing above will be considered as an exit sign. Here it did try to cross, but it didn't happen, it didn't stay, right? It didn't cross exactly, but here this was a convincing cross, and followed by that you should exit here because this price is showing signs of sellers being weak. See how many green candles? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then here 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. At least, five green candles, and then it crosses above triangular moving average, which is a confirmed sign that at least it will stay here for 15 to 30 minutes, and you should probably book your profits before it might reverse, right? Okay, so this is how you enter a trending stock, like stock which already first candle is already below or above the triangular moving average. See for confirmation from pivot lines, and then you can take the trade with keeping triangular moving average as your trailing stop loss. Okay, now here is something I want to tell you guys. Okay, something, how to pick, how to be sure that the price will trend downwards. So I have picked Hindalco, and this is how Hindalco dropped for at least 3-4 hours. Yeah, 3-4 hours. Hindalco dropped on Friday for 3 hours at least. And how you can be sure to enter this trade with, like from the starting of the session. To do this, you need to always check the higher time frame. Okay, checking the bigger time frame will enlighten you about a trade. Okay, look here, this is a 30-minute chart, and higher time frame means 4 times the trading time frame. Okay, if you're trading at 5 minutes chart, you should be looking at 20 minutes, but since Zerodha is not does not have a 20-minute chart, I check 30 minutes. So look at the 30 minutes chart. What do you see? Hindalco, this is the S3 line. Even if we can't see all the above pivot lines, this is S3 because there is no more green lines below it. Okay, Hindalco already convincingly closed below S3 support 3 on the 30 minutes chart. Okay, and it is already below what is it, 12 period triangular moving average. Towards the end of 14th February 2019, it tried to close above 12 period moving average. This is something you need to watch. Okay, so now we know that we'll simply draw an imaginary line here. Now we know that if the price opens above this triangular moving average or closes above here somewhere, it might mean that Hindalco may reach up to 195.70. But for some reason, if it fails to cross and close above 12 period triangular moving average, this stock is already low. There is no support down here. Okay, so that means when you see Hindalco on your chart and you see this big red candle forming, immediately go back up to 30 minutes chart and you will instantly have an idea what is happening. This is the lowest price, right? I'll draw a line. Pen. This is the low where Hindalco bounced back on the previous day, approximately here. Okay, this is here around 191 something. This was the low of Hindalco on 14th February. If this candle is breaking this low and closing below it, also it is below S3 and it is below 12 period triangular moving average, you can enter here with stop loss of here. Okay, yeah, it might look like a bigger stop loss than you normally like to take the trade, but that's the risks you have to take to enter a trending trade to catch this movement, right? You can trail your stop loss here, and you can tell me, like, if you wait here too long, your profit will be reduced like by 3 rupees, but you when you go in the lower time frame, you'll see that you would have already exited this trade. Now let's go to the lower time frame and see what happened. Okay, Hindalco trade in 5 minutes chart. So what did you see? This red candle, right? This is the low we were talking about, which is almost equal to this pivot line, 190.48. What did this candle do? It almost closed at this price. Immediately next candle is below. So because we know the trend on the bigger time frame, what the bigger boys are doing, we can enter as soon as this candle is done. But if you are a little conservative and you want more sheer short confirmation, MACD was already done, momentum was already below, so it was already a sell signal here, But if you want more confirmation, you can wait for this small candle, and you can sell immediately here. Okay, don't hesitate to take the trade here. Why? Remember what I told you, if you hesitate too much, then your brain will ask you, why will you enter here when there is a support line here, even if this support has no real meaning, because in the bigger time frame there is no support area here, but there it is an area on our trading time frame chart, so we should respect it. So your brain will say, if you don't enter here and if you wait for this candle to close, then you can't enter here, because this gap is too low, right? This support is too low, this gap is too low. Okay, so make sure you pull the trigger right. As soon as you are confirmed here, enter here and follow your stop loss, trail your stop loss using 12 period triangular moving average. Okay, this was a false breakout here. Okay, see here, this is what I call false breakout. All of these are saying that price might go up. Momentum said at around 11 a.m. MACD said around 11:20 something, and price actually closes above 12 period moving average. Okay, so now your brain is asking, should I exit the trade? You should. You will easily make like around 4 rupees or something. Yeah, 190, 3 rupees, 4 rupees on a 190 stock. Like, that's awesome. That's more than 1.5% or something. But there is another thing. This crossover happened at an area where there is no pivot lines, right? Remember what I told you, the crossover must happen around a pivot line or something significant. It can be a reversal here. I'm not saying it is not. There is no probability of reversal here, but remember what we discussed on probability. Our charts will tell us what is the probability of this thing reversing from here, and our chart says on the bigger time frame there is no support line at this one, at this area there is no support line, right? We saw the bigger time frame chart, there is no support line anywhere, and this area where it is trying to cross over, it also doesn't have any support line on 5 minutes chart. So you can stay here a little bit longer and wait for price to at least close, like one candle above here somewhere, one candle here, and then you can exit. But exiting here is also fine. Booking profits is always better than booking losses, and if you don't exit, you can easily ride here and exit around here when this crossover happens and this happens. And why this is more significant? Because this can be considered as the day low, as this is support 3. It breaches below support 3, and reversal from here has a decent chance because of short covering. The people who have entered here at above here, they will book their profits, right, at some point of the day. So they will start exiting once there is a confirmation. So it could have been here, but there is no price level. But since it already closed below support level and it is oversold for the day, you can consider this as oversold, and you are getting like 3-4 candles, like tried here, then again there is a hammer. So you can see how this is your exit, right? Okay, let's move ahead. Every strategy has its positive and negatives. So what is the positive and negative of this strategy? First of all, let's discuss the positive. It is very simple to set up. It is very easy to learn. You can learn to implement this strategy by spending like 2 hours of backtesting, of reading charts, what is happening, and understanding what is going on. Within 2 hours, your brain will be ready to like understand why this happened, why a bullish move was confirmed. You can understand the indicators. It is very easy. You don't have to apply 5-6 filters, different types of additional information to understand what is happening. This simple strategy using the 12 period triangular moving average, it tells you about entry, it tells you about where to put the stop losses, it also helps you trailing the stop loss, and you have an exit plan. Okay, remember what I told you. Having a plan of all of these points is necessary, because once you have a plan, you know that this is your exit, this is your entry, this is your stop loss. Your brain is already triggered to react when that thing happens, so there is less chances of you panicking, of you having a fear of taking a trade. Okay, 12 period triangular moving average will always protect your capital. Okay, instead of you keeping a stop loss really low, or keeping a stop loss of um, you know like let's say in Hindalco you kept a stop loss of 5 rupees, which is totally unnecessary, and keeping that amount of stop loss will slowly eat away your capital. Okay, so use the 12 period triangular moving average to set your stop loss, and it will always protect your capital. Even if you entered a bad trade, remember what I told you, once a crossover happens, it will stay there for at least uh, 15 to 20 minutes, and even if your stop loss is triggered, it would be like really it will be less compared to any other strategy, I think. Okay, now the cons. This strategy fails to work since it is based on moving average. It will fail to work where moving averages work, like when a price is consolidating, it is going up down the moving average, uh, and it it will not work. Okay, it can give false signals. Remember, just in the previous example of Hindalco, I showed you how a false signal can happen, and it in the live market, when you have a position, a false signal, your brain might react to it more strongly than when you don't have an open position, because you are emotionally attached to that position, right? So it can give false signals, but if you took a wrong trade, the strict stop loss will save your capital. Now, here is the thing. You can overcome the flaw of this strategy by shifting to a higher time frame. This strategy, the best thing about this strategy is it works at higher time frame, and it works better. Okay, so here is an example of IGL. See how this is not working. The price went down, it stayed there for like this is 5 minutes chart, so it is here for like 1 2 3 15 minutes, goes back up. Someone might think this is bullish, but then it comes back down, goes back up, comes back down, and stays down for like 20-30 minutes, goes back up and immediately down. So you can see how you will fail to make profit here. Instead your stop loss will get trigger almost like every time. Okay, so let me clear the drawing. One of the way to fix this issue, to get over this issue, is see what happened here. I'm sorry, I don't have the timestamp here, because I wanted to show you the comparison of two charts. Okay, so this is 5 minutes chart, and this is a 15 minutes time frame, right? So same thing here. Here is a buy, you enter here and you exit here. This is a clear buy, you get to enjoy the whole profit. Same IGL, same chart, only difference being the time frame, right? See how the price is constantly jumping around the pivot line here. You can get false signal here, you can get false signal here. Even if you are a good scalper, you will make money, even if this is like this is jumping around the 12 period triangular moving average, because the price stays once it crosses over, it respects the 12 period triangular moving average for 10-15 minutes. You can scalp somewhere here, but